Hey, you guys, welcome to another Wednesday wellness call or Wellness Wednesday call. Um, that week just flew by so fast, it seems. So, we are so excited to have you guys back with us. We are rounding out the month of May with a special treat. We're all about nurses. I just happen to be a nurse. My name is Lisa, and I have the pleasure of getting to host two other nurses. So, we're so excited. First, we're going to talk to my sweet friend Brittany. I'm going to have her introduce herself just a little bit, who she is, mama kids, all that fun stuff. And then I'm going to go straight into asking her some questions about her health journey. So, Brittany, if you want to tell us a little bit about you, and then we'll get started.
All right, thanks. My name is Brittany, and I am a nurse. I've been a nurse since 2011. I've worked in the hospital and with home health most recently. And I have two children that are homeschooled. I'm married to a cop, and we stay busy.
Now, what kind of nursing? What's your specialty?
Currently, I'm a clinical manager for a home health agency.
Wow, cool. And married to a cop. God love you. Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Talk about serving the public, nursing and cops. Wow. God love you both. Okay, so my first question is, how did you hear about Plexus?
My friend Erin Osborne, she and I used to work together when I worked at the hospital. We did lots of night shifts together, and she is the one that introduced me to that and finally got me to give it a shot.
Was she posting about it, or did y'all just talk about it?
She was posting a little, and she would throw it in randomly with our conversations about other things. And it was funny because it was Plexus and supplements. Even as nurses, we didn't realize how important gut health was. We ought to be ashamed of ourselves, really. So it was shocking and interesting, and I was like, really, this is what you're trying to do now, so it was interesting that she was interested in supplementing, and then turns out she was right.
So is that what piqued your interest, that she was a nurse, yet she was really concentrating on natural supplementation? Is that what kind of got you interested?
Actually, the reason that I first started Plexus, I had just had my second son. And with my first son, I was not able to breastfeed, and I really wanted to nurse my second baby. And he was hungry, and I was not producing much. And so Erin is all about mamas and babies and healthy mamas and babies. And so she was my go-to. I'm like, what do I do? How do I make this kid stop screaming at me? How do I feed him more? And I was having a hard time putting some in the freezer, and I knew I was going back to work soon. And she told me all the things, drink lots of water, told me to eat oatmeal, which is disgusting, or said I could try Plexus. So it was oatmeal or Triplex. And so that's how that happened.
It's funny. Yeah. That's so great that you were able to have an alternative, to find something to help you with your breast milk.
Yeah. And within a week, it had doubled. My supply had doubled within a week of starting Triplex, which I know it usually takes longer for a lot of people. So, but within a week that had doubled. And then the other things that came along with it were so good. There was no turning back.
That's really odd. How long did it take you to finally give in to Erin and say, okay, I'll try this?
Months.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Did you roll your eyes at her a little bit?
Yes. Ignored some messages. Yeah, I did. I ignored some messages. And I know she had started talking to me about it when I was pregnant. And I know she came to my baby shower, and I remember thinking, man, she looks incredible. And then I think I signed up the day before I went back to work, and I was off work for 3 months. So, I mean, it was a good 6 months probably that she kept on, and finally I caved.
Love Erin. What a good friend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She is. She loves me enough to keep bugging me.
Exactly. She loves you enough to keep bugging you. I love that.
That's right.
So you started with the Triplex, and then are you still taking that, or do you take additional supplements as well?
It's probably going to be quicker if I tell you what I don't take. But yes.
I know, me too.
I still use Triplex. I don't use Ease as often as I probably should, but I do like to use Ease. I use Metaburn and Balance and Active Daily. It's my new favorite, and Collagen and the Joyum.
Oh, those are
So a little
good.
bit of everything.
I
Mm-hmm.
know it's really hard to say what you take. You might as well just say what you're not, because all these
Right.
things, I don't know what I did before Plexus. I was like, wow, I was really walking around like a zombie, feeling terrible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, so what are the biggest health benefits? So we know that you've had it helped your breast milk supply increase, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So what other health benefits have you noticed since taking Plexus?
Well, it's a little shameful, but Aaron will tell you that I could put away an entire box of Debbie cakes in a 12-hour shift with a 6-pack of Mountain Dew. Um, Shameful. So I immediately noticed that within a couple of weeks, I wasn't craving near as much junk. I wanted water. I didn't even, it's funny because I didn't really think of myself as having huge health issues, and I really didn't feel sluggish before. I thought I was doing pretty good, but it turns out when you feel better, you realize how bad you really felt. I quit needing naps as often. When the babies napped, I was able to get things done because I wasn't needing to lay down and crash while they crashed. I used to get headaches really, really bad in the afternoons. Don't get headaches anymore. And I didn't even notice that until they were gone and something was said. And I was like, gosh, I used to get headaches all the time. Who knew those were gone? So yeah, lots of benefits that I didn't expect because I didn't realize I had an issue. Didn't know I was bloated until I wasn't anymore. I didn't realize that I wasn't regular until I was. All kinds of things that I didn't think I had any problems. And it turns out, wow, okay, this normal wasn't good enough. So
I love that. So you went in really looking for breast milk supply to increase, but you really had a lot of unexpected benefits once you
right.
figured out, to focus on gut health, sugar balance, and inflammation. And those things we just were not taught in nursing school.
No.
So it's really crazy when you get all those things balanced, how much better you can feel.
Right. Right.
Right.
And I never would have talked a patient into taking a probiotic in the hospital. Like, oh, you don't want this. That's fine. It's not a big deal. All the while filling them full of antibiotics, and they definitely needed what I was not encouraging them to take. So
That's crazy because, and I'm sure Liz,
mm-hmm.
when she shares her story as well, that's just what we knew. We
Mm-hmm.
only taught what we knew, what we were taught, and we were just
Right.
passing it along. So I'm so thankful that we have been able to still be able to provide some Western medicine benefits of healthcare,
Mm-hmm.
but yet not just focus on quick fixes and band-aids, being able to get to the root of the issue. One last question, and I'll let you go. My last question is, what would you say to someone who maybe is interested, but has an objection, whether it's cost, whether it's, they just don't believe that it's going to work? What would be your biggest tip for someone who's kind of hesitant to give it a try?
I'm a very blunt person. So honestly, there's no reason to not start. Clearly, you have an interest because whatever you're doing currently isn't working. You have enough of a reason to be looking for something else, and that should be enough of a reason to start. So put all your doubts aside. Biggest skeptic ever. And honestly, that was my thought, was like, well, shoot, if Aaron is seeing a reason to do this, clearly there's a reason to do this. So yeah, my biggest, clearly whatever it is that you're doing right now isn't good enough, or you wouldn't be looking for something better. So might as well just give in and get it done. And if cost is your reason, it's not a good reason either, because people find the money for the things that they want, and feeling better is something you should want. So
That's exactly
and
right.
we can help with that too. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That's exactly right. And I bet you probably found that maybe you were saving money, taking these supplements, you're saving money on not buying, I don't know if you
Turns
bought
out
like
it's
fancy.
cheaper than
Yes.
Mountain Dew and Debbie cakes all day,
Yes.
every day.
And how much money would you give? I mean, can you put a price on having energy to play with your kids and having energy
Right.
to be able to skip the nap and get something
Right.
productive done? So do
Right.
you
I've
sleep
said
better?
that to friends before, that, it sounds expensive when you first hear how much you might have to pay for a month's supply, but honestly, I would pay double what I have to pay to feel the way that I do. I truly would, because it's being able to go and do things with the kids is much better than taking naps while they crash. You know, it really is. You don't get
That
those
time
moments
you can't
back.
get back.
So
That's exactly right.
right.
Thanks. Yeah.
That's
Brittany,
right.
thank you so much for sharing with us.
Yes,
We love
ma'am.
hearing your story, and looking forward to hearing more later how all the new ways that Plexus has been able to just blow your mind about all the
I
fun health
know.
benefits. It seems like every day there's something I hear from somebody that a new benefit. So that's exciting. So thank you
Yeah.
for sharing.
Yes, ma'am. Y'all have a good night.
Bye. All right. So we have another sweet nurse, and I get to tell y'all a sweet little personal story with Miss Elizabeth. She is my sweet friend. She lives across the country, feels like cross country.
Mm-hmm.
And but we met, oh my goodness, Elizabeth, what was it? Many, like 4 years, 3, 4 years ago,
I think it
5
was
years
4
ago,
years
maybe.
ago.
Seems like it was a long time ago, but we met at a leaders retreat in Dallas, whenever that was. And we just happened to be waiting in line next to each other, about to go into one of the Brian Regan concert one night. And her husband and Elizabeth and me and my husband, and we just hit it off. And it was just friends at first sight. It was great. So, and we've been friends ever since. And she is my sweet, sweet friend. So I can't wait for Elizabeth to tell you about her story and her family, and what her role in nursing is, and how she's using Plexus now.
Okay, thank you so much for having me. Well, first off, I was so glad to meet you too. It was like just really friendship at first sight. We just love them. And even though they live far away from us, we're in Missouri, good old Missouri. But a couple of things, I am a registered nurse, and I have to agree with everything you said. We were not taught anything about gut health, anything about inflammation. We were taught just to treat. And I just don't know that the studies were really out there as far as what antibiotics and just all the things I've been taking growing up. Like I had many ear infections. So I was on the antibiotic at least once or twice a year. And then once I hit high school, I had strep throat 3 times a year. So it was literally, I was living on antibiotics my whole life. So my background is pediatric nursing. That's what I went into nursing for. And I did that until I got so emotionally drained, and then I switched into aesthetic nursing. So 15 years ago, I started injecting Botox and fillers before it was even a thing. So I always say I was kind of a pioneer in that field. And I got introduced to Plexus. I was pregnant with my 4th. I was 38 years old. I think I was 12 or 13 weeks along, and I was just exhausted all the time. And I had 3 older girls that were 6 and under. So it was complete chaos. And there was a girl at MOPS who reached out to me and asked me about Plexus. And this is never this easy with anyone else in the whole wide world, but she called me on the phone with a 3-way. And as I'm on the phone with her, I'm like, give me the website. And I actually signed up while I'm on the phone. I was like, this probably is the easiest 3-way you've ever done. And I'm like, just give me whatever is going to give me energy. And I looked up all the ingredients while I was on the 3-way to see if it was okay to take while pregnant. And I started taking the triplex immediately. And day 21, I quit craving sugar for the first time in 38 years. And I thought that it was crazy because I was very addicted to sugar. And I had it every single day. And I just thought it was a matter of self-control. Little did I know I had a lot of candida in my gut. And I just craved it and I couldn't not eat it. And so at day 21, I remember it was my birthday and they brought me a chocolate cake to work. And I was like, that looks so gross. And they were like, what? You love chocolate? And I was like, it does not look good to me. And then I thought I was sick. I'm like, this is odd. And so that was kind of my first really, truly epiphany that these products really do work. And so then I just started researching and studying, but I still said I would never share the products. I didn't want to be anyone who was selling something. And so I pretty much told my upline, whatever, I'm not going to do this. But then I kind of shared every once in a while. I gave out my website. Actually, I had to message my upline all the time. What's my website again? What's my website again? I never knew. So when I finally decided to share about a year later, I had a ton of money in my Plexus wallet that I had no idea was there because I just ignored it all. And now I just feel so passionate about sharing the truth of what supplements, these supplements do for our bodies. especially being under attack that we've been in the last year. I truly feel like this is the best blessing that could have ever come across my lap and my family. My husband has a huge testimony, my kids, I mean, their allergies. I mean, there's so many things that I just couldn't imagine where we would be without these supplements. And I'm the same way. I take everything, almost everything. I don't know that there's anything I don't take. I love them all. I love Ease. I love the Triplex. I love Active. My kids live on the, my one daughter has vitiligo. So it's a skin disorder and we know it's autoimmune. We don't have any reason to why it has appeared, but I am very diligent with her drink, her chewables, Vital Biome, Probio 5, BioCleanse, and she has not had one new white spot since last summer when it was first diagnosed. So I am on a mission they wanted to put her on a black box steroid for her skin. And I said, I'm not going to put my 7-year-old on a black box steroid that could potentially hurt her fertility and all sorts of stuff, but they're willing to prescribe it. So I said, I'll just do my own route. So we've been on a gut health mission, really, as a family. And I feel like the Lord just gave us the products beforehand. So I was aware of them when she came down with diagnosed with vitiligo. And so if you don't know what that is, it's just a skin pigmentation problem where once they lose the pigment, they never regain it. So it can go anywhere on their body. So if you see people, they usually have splotches on their necks or their faces or wherever. So I'm super passionate about sharing it. I just love these products and they have changed our lives.
I love that. I want to put you on the spot real quick.
Sure.
Do your other kids take their products and what benefits have you seen for them?
I mean, everybody takes everything. So all of our kids are on the chewables. The same one who has the vitiligo, the Vital Biome was transformational for her because she sort of has all sorts of really hyper moods. And so when I started her on the Vital Biome, I swear it transformed her over a week. We homeschool as well. And so I get to see every single positive attribute that they possess all day long. And so that was transformational for her. My second child does not poop regularly. So BioCleanse is 100% a necessity for her. She takes it every single night before bed. And then my oldest girl, she seems fine, but I just have her on everything anyway, because before I knew about this, she was on antibiotics all the time. Our kids have not been on one antibiotic since we started this. They've had no sicknesses. They both got COVID for about 2 hours. They lost their smell and taste for just 24 hours, and that was it. But no one else had any problem in our family. And so everybody's on it. Everybody's on everything.
I hear you. I tell you, this last year is really just knowing that my family and I have really been investing in our gut health and sugar balance and inflammation, especially the gut health that we've been trying to boost our immune systems for years now. And I really, I'm so thankful that we didn't have that fear factor this past year, because I knew that if we did get something, it wasn't because we weren't trying to help boost our immune system way before this, you know. So we were doing things that were preventative. So I love that the fact that I knew that if we did get something, hopefully like you guys, it would be quick and mild, you know, because Plexus certainly isn't, it seems like magic, but it's not magic. It is a tool. And so it's really just helped with my confidence as being a mom, knowing that I'm doing the best that I can for my kids to give them the best possible outcome, and really just to set them up for success as far as their immunity, and just for being healthy, happy adults when they leave the nest. So thank you for sharing. And I love seeing
You're welcome.
Face.
I want to share one more little thing.
Yeah.
One more little nugget is being a skincare nurse for 15 years and spending, I'm talking $400, $500 on skincare. And that was with my discount. So a lot of stuff I get at a very steep discount at wholesale. So Skin Medica and Epionce and all the skincares that, you know, people spend a lot of money on. So when we came out with skincare, I was sort of disappointed. I'm like, oh, great. Because I knew I had very high standards. And when I saw the ingredients and I tried them out for 30 days, I was in love with our skincare. I mean, it is legit. The cell turnover rate that happens with our night serum is 100% amazing. And I tell everyone it stands up to the most expensive skincare lines that I have personally sold to people for 15 plus years. So that is another thing that I was so grateful for, because it's affordable, but it actually does work. And it's not 25 steps, it's 2.
I love that you shared that, because you have a firsthand account on all the different options that you can offer your clients, and you still choose Plexus. You still choose something that's simple, affordable, and healthy and clean.
Yep.
I love that.
It's 100%. I tell everybody, just try it out, because they're like, it's only 2 steps. I'm like, get the cleanser, which my kids use as well. And then the night serum and the day serum are just top of the line effective, especially for anti-aging, which we all want.
Yes, and you got to start on that anti-aging before you think you'll need it. So you got to start early on that. Start in your 20s,
Yeah, try like 24. That's when you need to start.
I love it. Thank you for sharing so much. I love your story, and I love your family. I love you. So thank you.
We love you.
And so for everyone else, so for the people who are watching this live on the webinar on the Zoom, feel free to comment in the chat section. But for those of you who are watching this webinar live streamed into our Healthy Starts Here customer page, this is something that I'm going to offer you a free trial of Active if you answer this one question. So school should be out for most, and if it's not, it should be out soon. So I want you to comment with something fun that you have planned to do with your family this summer. So what are your summer plans? So if you're live on Zoom, comment in the chat section. If you're live on the webinar, just comment in the comment section. And I'm going to go back after this call, and I'm going to pick a winner from both places, and I will send you a free sample pack of Active. So thank you guys so much for, bye Elizabeth, thank you. Thank you so much, you guys, for hopping on tonight's Wellness Wednesday, and we will see you again really soon with some more great testimonies on another Wellness Wednesday. So thank you guys.